Hello my lovelies, and welcome back to Allotment of the Dead. So I thought tonight I would give you guys an update on my giant onions, which I started growing in the Giant Onion Challenge some time ago now. If you can remember from some of my previous videos, I started them off down the plot, planted them down there, and I got nothing. And then I ended up bringing them home, decided that I wasn't getting any germination down there, me being a bit impatient. So I brought them back, stuck them on my fish tank, and within 2 days of them being in the warm, they decided to sprout. So let me just give you an update as to what they're looking like now. So this is the Kelsae giant onions. So these were the ones we were supposed to be growing for Pete Trenouth's giant onion challenge. They're starting to get a little bit frazzled on the edges, and I think part of the reason is that these little cells don't really keep the water very well, but also the original compost which I planted them in is the Leventon F1 compost, which I absolutely love. It's really fine granular, but when the plant is actually starting to look for more nutrients, it's not going to find them in this compost. Now, there's two ways around that. You can either keep feeding the compost with the liquid feed, which I haven't done as yet. That could be why I'm getting some of this frazzling. The other way of doing things is to pot them on, prick them out into larger pots. So I've got some nice large pots here, into some fresh compost, and add a few nutrients and things, and hopefully you'll get a better result. So what I've got here is some nice Jack's Magic. So this absolutely gorgeous black gold is something that I use a lot. Absolutely love it. I've never had any issues with it in terms of everything I've planted in it, and I use this for my chilies. I use this for majority of my plants. The old potato pots that I've used this in, those are emptied into the polytunnels to add extra kind of bits of nutrients and stuff that are still in the soil. So it's an all-rounder. It's kind of multi-purpose compost, a little bit of peat in there still, a little bit of coir. It keeps that kind of moisture in a little bit better as well. But again, this is not chilies, it's not aubergines, which I have generally okay with. This is onions, and my skill with onions is yet to be tested, I guess. So I've got a certain amount of intrepidation with these particular plants. It's not something I'm used to growing a lot of. I don't even grow the sets. I'm not particularly, I've always thought that onions are quite cheap, and you can get them from the supermarket quite cheap, and generally an onion's an onion most of the time. But looking at these particular onions and the size of them, I had to give them a go. It's not something you come across so often that you see a kind of an onion as big as a pumpkin. So that's kind of what I did, why I decided to do this. Right, so I've got my Jack's Magic. I'm going to add a little bit of vermiculite to this particular mix. So this will help to keep that moisture in. Add a little bit of drainage. It's perlite, I think, that keeps the moisture in. So we'll have a couple of 3 handfuls of the vermiculite. We'll mix that all in. Have a nice mix of okay, and then the other additive. Now I've looked up kind of what onions need, and I think for these onions at the moment, because they're small, they're still trying to actually gain their root systems. They're trying to make a nice root system underneath, so that developing onion can actually grow above the earth, above the ground, a little bit better, because these ones do tend to kind of grow up and out of the ground. So what I thought I would do is either use this Leventon superphosphate, which I use with the potatoes. Now these are for kind of for roots. So phosphate is fantastic for roots. The only issue with that potentially is that it's going to burn the root systems. It's quite a strong additive to add. So I decided to go with the other additive, or the other phosphate fertilizer, which is this one. And I did have a picture on the front of it, but I think that's come off in the because this has been in the polytunnel, so I think it's come off in the rain and the moisture that was in there. And this is bat guano. So this is bat fertilizer. You can see it's actually quite a nice fine powder. I don't want to be sneezing there or even snorting at the minute. I'm not sure whether bat fertilizer will be very good for you, but I'm going to use a couple of these scoops of this bat fertilizer in with the mix. As a phosphate source. So phosphates will hopefully allow that growth of those nice roots that these onions need to thrive. So bat guano is bat poo, basically. So bat poo is one of those things that's basically harvested from quite a few different places, lots of caves and things like that. They generally will scrape this off the rocks underneath where the bats are roosting. And it's a fantastic source of fertilizer, absolutely great. So again, we'll mix this in to the mix. Now, the other good thing about bat fertilizer, despite its cost, it is quite an expensive thing to use, is that it is quite a slow release fertilizer. It doesn't kind of have that same effect as what this superphosphate to my right here would have on the roots of the plants. It's unlikely to burn the roots of the plants. That being said, it's nice to mix it through the compost so you're not having too much of a concentrate around some of the particular roots of these plants. Right, so that's my potting mix. I've not, like I said, I've not done this before. If that's the wrong potting mix for these, let me know. Let me know what you guys are doing out there in terms of actually putting these together. Now, that's my pot of fertilizer. So what I'm going to do is prick these out into here. So what I'm going to do is take the Kelsae and I'm going to use a nice stick. So I've got these sticks not only to help me prick these out. Normally I would use a chopstick for this, but I don't currently have any at the moment. I think I've left mine down the plot that I often use. It's one of those things when you get a pair of chopsticks and you lose one, there's nothing better than using the other one for pricking out seedlings and things. So what I want to do is not disturb these too much, be really, really gentle, and we get this nice onion there. So you get this white bit here. So this white bit here is going to be the bit that's going to be under the ground. You get this nice, absolutely gorgeous taproot there, and we'll drop it into a hole that we've made here, and we want to be burying it to just about where that stem starts, and we want to probably firm it in quite well. So you want it to stand up as much as you can. Let's put a little bit more around it. Oh, don't want to knock it over. So more fingers and thumbs today. All right. So the other thing you can do to help these guys stand up is use one of these sticks and one of these clips. So these clips are basically just things that go around a stick and then they go around the plant kind of like that, and then they help to keep it upright. Well, that's the idea anyway. But me, as usual, I got the wrong size, I think, for these sticks. So what I've had to do is put a little bit of kitchen roll around it, and that's kind of what we're going to do. So what I'm going to do here, push the stick in. So I want to get those nice little stems through the old hole. I know my son hates me dropping the H's. And then hopefully we'll give that a bit of a water. And then hopefully that will be one of my LC all nicely potted on. We'll give that a bit of a water, and then it will go back underneath the lights upstairs. Right, we'll do another one just to show you. Again, just nice bit of compost. I'll get a nice stick, make a little hole, and we'll get one of these gorgeous little seedlings. So the good thing about the this particular compost as well, the Leventon F1, is that it is quite loose in terms of a compost, so it's not going to be quite rigid around the roots. So these have been coming out quite easily. As you can see, I think these need some decent water, some decent nutrients, because they've started to flop a bit. Right, and then we'll take our clip and we'll break a bit of the kitchen roll off, which we're going to wrap round the stick. So we'll wrap that around the stick. We'll put the thing here around there. There we go. And then they just clip together. At least so I think. I've got fingers and thumbs still. Right. So then these will be pushed in. Again, we'll locate these lovely stems. Into the hole. There we go. And then we'll give these a nice water. Again, so that's another one of these ALT. Now, I've got about, I don't know, 10 or so. So I think I might plant them all and see. I know some of you guys out there that are planting for this challenge are only going to be planting the ones that they're aiming to grow to be really huge. I'm going to just carry on and grow some and see if I can actually get some nice eating onions as well. Whatever don't grow big, we can still eat. So I'm not going to waste these guys. It's probably some of the most expensive seeds I've ever bought. These I think were £4 for 60. I suppose isn't too expensive really. And I've sent quite a few away to other people so that they could take part in this competition as well, this challenge. So yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing for the evening today. Got my lovely compost, got my lovely seedlings. So let me just show you the Kelsaes as well. So these are again, they've fallen over a bit, but these are the ones that were sent to me from Ali in Canada, my rusty garden. So again, thank you very much, Ali, for that. Hopefully we'll be able to pop those on tonight as well, because I think they're more than ready. Right. So I'll end this video with just a good look to everybody out there who's having a go at this. So like I say, onions are not my thing. Whatever I get is going to be a bonus for me. So hopefully you guys will have some good results as well. So all the best, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.